And can I begin by saying this? May the 4th be with you. If you are of the Jedi faith, congratulations. Happy Star Wars Day to you. But great to be in Redcliffe with my ministerial colleagues, the Minister for Housing, Leanne Enoch, and the Health Minister and the State Member for Redcliffe, Yvette Darth. Can I also welcome Rebecca Olkers, who is the CEO of the Brisbane Housing Company, who has been working with the government to deliver an important step forward in the delivery of more social and affordable housing for Queenslanders. Today we want to announce the first project that we'll be delivering as part of our innovative Housing Investment Fund. This is an important fund that will provide more opportunities for Queenslanders to live in more affordable housing and in more social housing across the state. So the first of these projects will be with the Brisbane Housing Company. The Brisbane Housing Company has a very long history in supporting social and affordable housing, very distinguished history and a great partner. And as part of this investment fund, we look to support the private sector and the non-government sector in delivering more homes for Queenslanders. And we're so pleased to be partnering with BHC in this project. When it comes to social and affordable housing, this fund will never stop giving. It's a $1 billion investment that we will draw down on each year. We will draw down on the investment returns on that fund each and every year for the sole purpose of supporting social and affordable housing. So today we're announcing 118 new homes for Queenslanders. Here in Redcliffe, we'll see 84 one-bedroom apartments that will be built on this site, and that's a specific design program that we've put into place, particularly to help senior citizens or people who want to leave the empty nest and move to a smaller home. That will have a consequential benefit for housing and freeing up larger homes for other Queenslanders. In Chermside, we'll be delivering 28 one-bedroom units and six two-bedroom units. The split there will be 50-50 between social and affordable housing. There'll be 60 affordable houses here, affordable units here at Redcliffe, and 24 social homes. So it depends on the community, depends on the mix that we'll be delivering, but what it means is more social and affordable housing. And of course that comes on top of the investment we're already making in more social housing, and Minister Enoch will speak to that, as well as the Build to Rent program, which will be delivering 240 new affordable units to Queenslanders, and we've announced a number of those projects. I'm very pleased to say that this project will of course support more jobs. So there'll be 90 construction jobs supported in Redcliffe and 38 construction jobs supported up in Chermside on the north side of Brisbane, where the other project will proceed. So this is what good Labor governments do. We commit, and we deliver. And we deliver social housing, we deliver affordable housing, the single biggest concentrated investment into social and affordable housing in our state's history. We announced in our last budget, and now we're getting on with delivering. So we'll start work on these projects later this year. These sites will need to be cleared. There are, of course, some capacity constraints when it comes to building and construction at the moment. We know there are challenges with workforce, there are challenges with construction supply of goods and other construction materials, but we are getting on with the job, we are leading the way, and we'll be delivering those homes for Queenslanders. I might ask Minister Enoch to say a few words, and then Minister Darth, and then Rebecca's here to take some questions from you as well. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Treasurer, and today is an incredibly exciting day. We know that right across Queensland, social and affordable housing is something that many Queenslanders are seeking, and of course the Palaszczuk government is stepping up to the plate on this one. Already we have more than 74,000 social housing dwellings across Queensland, and since we came to government we have commenced more than 4,000 new social housing dwellings across our state. But of course these kinds of partnerships and our innovative housing investment fund, the first of its kind in Queensland, gives us the opportunity to commence even more properties like we will be seeing here in Redcliffe. This innovative partnership through our housing investment fund sees what we've had in the past, a Partnering for Growth program with our community housing organisations absolutely supercharged through this investment fund. So Brisbane Housing Company, who we've had a long history with, and of course the Queensland Government has been a supporter of the Brisbane Housing Company and other housing companies across our state. That partnership now, supercharged through our Housing Investment Fund, will enable us to ensure that we are building even more social and affordable housing opportunities across Queensland. In fact, our $2.9 billion investment in last year's budget, the largest concentrated investment in social and affordable housing in Queensland's history, will see us commence some 7,400 new social and affordable homes over the next 4 years. That will mean, in terms of our housing strategy, we will see an increase of some 10,000 dwellings with regards to social and affordable housing. This is all part of a larger strategy to ensure that we are meeting the needs of Queenslanders where they are situated, wherever they might be across our great state. And of course, as we see the changes in people's needs, we're seeing the changes in the kinds of offering that we're putting forward with regards to social and affordable homes. Back in the day when my parents raised our family in a social home, of course the big properties were the norm, 3 and 4 bedroom properties. That's what I grew up in. But of course what we're seeing now is a real change in the demographic and the need of people. The need now is more for 1 and 2 bedroom properties, and that's why this particular development will see this increase in offering with regards to 1 bedroom properties, which will give us the opportunity to free up those larger properties across the southeast corner and potentially give those opportunities to families who are in need as well. So this is an incredibly important day. It's the first of the projects from our Housing Investment Fund. It is absolutely an indication of this government stepping up and doing exactly what we said we would do, and that is to partner with the community housing sector to ensure that we're building more social and affordable homes than we ever have before. So congratulations, Treasurer, for all the work that you've been doing with regards to the Housing Investment Fund. Congratulations to the Brisbane Housing Company, and of course to Minister Darth, who will see this fantastic development here in her own backyard. So I'll hand over to you, Minister.
Thank you, Minister for Housing and Treasurer. This is a very exciting announcement today for Redcliffe to be part of the first project under our Housing Investment Fund, and it shows that the Palaszczuk government understands the demands and needs in our communities. Housing has been a real issue for our community for some time. The Palaszczuk government has continually invested in social housing in this area. And that's why I'm so proud to be part of a government who understands the needs of looking after those most vulnerable in our community. But the demands in this area have significantly grown over the last 2 years. I can't go anywhere in this community without a conversation around homelessness, people living in our parks, under the bridges. We know that there's a lot of people hurting right now, and that's been exacerbated by COVID and people, property owners, selling their homes and pushing renters out. Also rental properties significantly going up in cost, but also with the floods earlier this year. I've had to assist many people to get accommodation in partnership with housing. And many of those are elderly women. And we know that our senior women are part of the most vulnerable group of becoming homeless in our area. And so that's why I'm thrilled that not only are we getting 84 new homes for people with this building, 60 social housing and 24 affordable housing, but also that it's targeted for seniors and those who want to downsize. I know many of them will be single women in this community. Some women I've met who have lived on the peninsula for decades have now been pushed off the peninsula because it's not affordable any longer. And with the National Rental Affordability Scheme ending, because the Morrison government has not continued that scheme, right now I've got people coming in my door every single week saying they're about to become homeless, that their rent is actually going up 100%. And this is out of reach for many people in my community. So I'm thrilled that we're partnering the Brisbane Housing Company. I've seen their incredible work, particularly in affordable and social housing in the past, and I'm thrilled that they're going to be building this new home for many people in our local area. I suspect I'm going to get knocks on the door from today going, how do I put my name on the list? I want to move in. And I'm just so thrilled, as I say, to be part of the Palaszczuk government investing in a wonderful property like this. I'll also be asked, with one-bedroom apartments, we know loneliness and isolation is a big thing for our seniors. I want to make it clear, when we say one bedroom, it also comes with a multi-purpose room, and that can be used as a bed sit for grandkids to come and visit and stay over, because we know that it's so important that our seniors get to have families to come and visit and stay with them as well. This is absolutely brilliant. I just cannot wait to see these apartments being built, and I just want to thank the Treasurer and the Housing Minister so much for recognising the need in this local community and delivering for the people of Redcliffe.
Good morning everyone, and thank you Ministers, thank you Treasurer. I just want to honestly say that I want to give full congratulations to the State Government for the introduction of the Housing Investment Fund. Brisbane Housing Company has been providing housing for 20 years across Brisbane, and we've had a terrific relationship and partnership with the State Government. But the Housing Investment Fund is a very different kind of fund. It's innovation in how we fund social and affordable housing, and I want to congratulate Minister Enoch, the Treasurer, around the innovation that has gone into this fund. It's absolutely going to change the way that we provide social and affordable housing. And we know that it isn't a small problem, it is a growing problem. And so providing housing at scale is incredibly important. So a very heartfelt thank you for the conviction and the bravery, the courage to actually put something new forward. I think that this is going to help us to really show the way, Queenslanders showing the way, as to how we can provide social and affordable housing in the whole of Australia, to be honest. And I want to make no mistake of this, the homes that are going to be built here in Redcliffe are absolutely going to change people's lives. I echo everything that Minister Darth just said about the position that people find themselves in. We know that there are so many seniors living here on the peninsula and in the surrounding suburbs who are absolutely living in housing stress. They are worried about putting food on the table. They're worried about being able to afford the rent. They're worried about losing connections. They're worried about being pushed away. When they actually live here in this complex, 84 units, they're going to be able to put down roots. They're going to be able to breathe. They're going to be able to just relax and know that they can live affordably. And from my point of view, that's what we want. That's what we want for our seniors. The development that we're also going to do in Chermside, so there's 84 here and then another 34 in Chermside. The development in Chermside will be more focused around social housing and also affordable housing for essential workers. So there'll be 17 social housing units for people on the public housing wait list and 17 affordable housing units for key worker people who absolutely are living in dire housing stress. So people in this group might be, for instance, cleaners or baristas, teacher aides, nursing assistants, people like that who are working but on low incomes and who absolutely need to live very close to where they work and have something that is affordable. So, I mean, BHC's mission is to provide social and affordable housing. We're absolutely passionate about it. We can do a lot more, and we feel as though through this Housing Investment Fund we're going to have a fantastic partnership, a continued partnership with the State Government. I want to thank the Ministers so sincerely for this. It's going to be a real game changer, and we're going to show Australia how to do it. Thank you.
No, they'll be. It's about a $50 million investment that Brisbane Housing Corporation is making that we will support, but then they go to the market and we invite people to come in through the social housing program, and there are set guidelines for that, and then we'll work with Brisbane Housing Company on the guidelines for affordable housing. So in our other build-to-rent programs, it's been about fuel income about $118,000 combined to help those workers get access to those residences, but we'll work through that with the Brisbane Housing Company. So they're not going to, you know, the project will be built and operated by the Brisbane Housing Company, and then they will bring the tenants in according to the guidelines we set.
How much of this building fund has been spent by the government, I guess, including this?
So we anticipate drawing down about $40 million a year on the billion dollars. So the $1 billion is set aside, and what we do then is draw down on the investment returns. So announce that in the budget. And of course that provides a perpetual funding stream now for social and affordable housing. Principally or previously, social and affordable housing has to be funded from the consolidated fund. So we've put a significant investment in, but now we have a dedicated funding pool, $1 billion, and that funding will always be allocated for social and affordable housing. So it'll depend on the return that we get each year. We opened the fund to investment applications from the private sector in October last year, so we've been working through those projects, and we're now working through all of those. So this isn't the end, this is just the start, this is the first announcement of these programs.
Given how dire the situation is though in Brisbane with a lot of people pretty much homeless, is there any way that, is there any plan to sort of speed up that process and, get more, affordable homes and housing built in Brisbane?
Well, we're going as fast as we can. I mean, that's just the reality. We're seeking the applications, we've got a great partner here, and we'll build these as quickly as we can. But the reality is there's a lot of constraints in the construction market at the moment. We've got the money, there's no question about the money, but it's having the partner and having the capacity to build, which is the real problem at the moment. We know that there's a lot of construction happening. We've had record home loan approvals, we've had record dwelling approvals that have been happening not just in the southeast but across the state, which means people are building and getting into their own homes at record numbers. But there are other people who need rental accommodation, and that's what we're working on here, as well as other forms of housing. And then we've got about $100 million that we put into homelessness services each year, so that was investment we made last year as well.
What's your message to Queenslanders who, as a result of the rise yesterday, are now going to be paying more money on their mortgages?
Well, you can't trust Scott Morrison. He couldn't deliver the vaccines, he couldn't deliver on natural disaster responses, he wouldn't deliver for Queensland when we faced a very severe flooding event. He had to be brought dragging and kicking and screaming to fund that $740 million program. I mean, he promised to be strong on the economy and strong on interest rates, and Scott Morrison couldn't even deliver that. So I think Queenslanders have had a good hard look at the bloke, and they'll form a view of him and make that decision clear on the 21st of May.
Generally, how many people across Queensland are waiting for housing?
Yeah, so on the social housing register, we just have over 27,000 households. And of course that's right across our state. We've seen a slight reduction in the percentage increase, which is a pleasant sign, I guess, but that doesn't take away from the fact that there are more and more people who are requiring our assistance. And of course, when we see the National Rental Affordability Scheme ending as a result of the federal Morrison government's decision on that, we will see some 10,000 properties across Queensland come off that scheme. That is a subsidised scheme to make rent affordable for many people who have been able to utilise that rather than come and seek social housing. And of course that is going to put more and more pressure on our system. And I've been calling on the federal government to reinstate, come back to the table, ease the pressure with regards to rentals right across our country, and reinstate the National Rental Affordability Scheme. They need to come back to the table on that. Otherwise we're going to continue to see rental stress right across our state.
So how many people are on the waiting list?
So we operate a social housing register because quite often we'll see lots of other services that are provided for people who have come seeking assistance with regards to social housing. So right now there's over 27,000 households who are on that. That might include a family. So obviously we don't necessarily count each individual because a 2-year-old doesn't require their own house. So we look at households and what they might require.
Is there a general, time period, how long these people are waiting for houses, like is it months, is it years?
Yeah, so just remembering though that those on the social housing register are also receiving other assistance from the Queensland government. So for some, and as I've said, we just in last year we have supported over 5,000 people into social housing, for instance, 5,000 households into social housing. And of course for others they might require other assistance. So last year we saw some 205,000 instances of assistance from the department for people who not necessarily were seeking not necessarily receiving social housing, but receiving other services. So it's a very different department than what it was 20 years ago, where we provide lots of different supports to people to be able to find appropriate accommodation.
Where else would you like to see more social housing built? Is there a particular hotspot that needs to be built?
Well, quite frankly, right now, because of what we're seeing across the market and the inadequacies of the federal government to address issues like the National Rental Affordability Scheme, we're seeing pressures right across our state. We know that in terms of the private market, the rental vacancies are around 1%. In terms of social housing, we're not far above that as ourselves. That's why we've got this incredible investment, the largest concentrated investment in social and affordable housing in this state's history, because we are fast-tracking our ability to be able to inject more stock into our system. So not only do we have the Housing Investment Fund that the Treasurer's Department have done an incredible job to get us to this point now, where we're announcing the first of the projects from that fund. But we've also got our Quick Starts program, which is looking to quickly move through our ability to put properties out into the system. We've got our Housing Construction Jobs program. We've got our Works for Tradies program. Lots of different programs that are seeing hundreds and thousands of new social housing dwellings being put into the system. We're moving as quickly as we possibly can, and that is right across the state.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.